Hey, I'm Kev. Welcome back to MXGP Pro. Has Hillman, he's been up and down in his first races back to the championship, but after some training, will he be right on top in Indonesia? So here we are skipping to the races. Now, we're not doing the qualifying, race, so we're losing some fame. 250 in totals, and that's much more than we earned in the first couple of races, so we've got to do well in Indonesia, in the wet maybe. So here's Hillman revving it up on the outside. We're basically using the same setup from Qatar, even in these wet conditions. Again, gearing might be a bit short as you try and dive it down the inside, and then we get a bit scared, and to only make up one position. I'll show you, so we're back down to last. Asiwa is leading the way. Hillman making this, doing his best to make up some positions, get towards that top 10. And it's opening that. Remember, these are 30-minute races plus 2 laps. So making up these positions early should set us up for a good race. What are you doing, Hillman? No, bit wide. He's been pushed wide again. So he's back down to the last. Just in it, though, we're making our way towards the top 10. Hillman drops all the way back. But you can see this Indonesia course is very tricky. You know, very tight in places. Especially with this being wet weather as well. Good thing he did his wet weather training, Hillman. But again, short gearing won't help us in these conditions. I don't think anyway. Actually, it might help us coming out the corners occasionally, but after that, after like 100 meters, it's not good at all. Oh, he's down! So down the last we go. Why did he get reset? I have no idea why Hillman was reset that. So he's down to last. This is a very good opening, that. With these wet conditions, it'll be interesting to see how this track evolves, if it does. During the race, because the Qatar track, it really didn't really evolve too much. The ruts weren't going to be developed throughout the whole of that race. And when we tried alternate lines, it didn't really work out. So we'll see if it's any different this time around. As he heads towards the start-finish line. And we go on to the second lap proper. Going a bit wide. You can see it's already starting to spread out in front. Hillman already catching up to the rear as well. So it seems like he's got pace once again in these races. Let's see if he can just have a good 27 minutes or 30 minutes, shall we say. Remainder of this race as he tries to make his way up into 21st. I know, a very important position. He looks down the inside. Fortunately, right in front, having none of it. Oh, as he gets into the back of that rider, that's Hillman. Fortunately, wanted to go wide, use that banking, but right in front just braked it. And same in this corner, trying to go wide and use some banking, but just not working. They just break down the inside into 21st then for Hillman. That's one place made up. Oh, you're going to run wide every lap in that corner, and then he gets pushed wide. Which just slowed both of us down. That was such a pointless move from 22nd. Let's go into the right. Keeping these high gearings. Maybe not the best idea. She goes round the Frenchman. Oh, not quite. Well, he's found the space. Up into 20th then. And then he gets tapped from behind again. As the last has crashed. And now into the final corner. We can take this line, which no one else seems to be doing. So 1:47 is the quickest lap time, 47.9. We did a 1:50. As though we're just getting into the back of people. We're quicker than everyone around it. We got up to 17th past the Russian. Oh, here comes Rubini just pushing us wide. And you can dive down the inside again into the right. Not quite. Got a good battle going on for 17th then. As everyone else is just sticking to their lines. You've got Olsen battling with Garcia. Here goes him. We're back down the inside for 17th. Hopefully he's shut the case on that battle. Now he can look to battle for 16th. He's got the Belgium up to 19th. Battling with the Frenchman. Got to be so careful to throttle in these conditions. As demonstrated. Who knew that was going to happen? Just as I said that. So back down to 21st for Hillman. Let's get going again. That's all. Garcia crashes from second. Hillman crashes into a pole. And goes down to last. Just so you know, it's like he's making progress. Trying to use that rear brake to get that rear end around in these conditions. Of course, you've got to be careful of doing that. But it should help. Especially in this last... Oh! Did Hillman take him down? Might have a Stewart and Corey into that move. Pretty sure he didn't. Need to go into the last couple of corners after that. And Hillman a 2-minute lap. He lost 10 seconds out of that. From battling, from crashing. Awful that time. So his chances of catching up to everyone in the lead are kind of remote already. But top 10, that's what we're aiming for. Top 10 is Hillman. There's still a long way to go in this race to recover. And as you've already seen, he's got much better pace than the riders around him at the moment. Based on the back markers. As he dives down the inside of the Frenchman. The dive too deep. And maybe he's got the inside line note for the left. Oh, that's very nice from the Frenchman. Just opened it up for Hillman. So he takes 20th as all. Tries to battle back. Gets into Hillman, who gets into the advertising. Now we've got the Belgian rider in front. As Hillman gets into 20th. Nick's tried to settle it down. So I've got to control that rear. Let's go for the right. God, do these puddles get deeper as the race goes on? That would be really good to see, but doesn't look like it. Let's go for the left. Come on, where's the speed? Can be slightly frustrating riding in the wet. Having to be so patient, so calm with the bike and with your inputs. Someone sets a 52, that's an awful that time. Well, he's made up a couple of positions like that. So it wasn't an awful lap, and then he goes down immediately. I think that's only the 4th down in the first third of the race, 5th. So go over the jump. It's back down to 21st. Lucky last is also having a mare. So Hillman's not in last, but he deserves to be with how awful he's been riding. Says if he wasn't falling, he'd be top 10 by now. As he gets into the Frenchman. Just let him know he's there with a friendly nudge. And again, just let him know into the left. And the Frenchman seems to be very cautious. Someone just takes advantage of that, just sweeps by once again. That right-hander is absolutely abysmal. Just wants to steer the bike round instead of letting it go around. As we go a bit wide into the left and into the right. Hillman takes it back. And you can see the rear always wants to get away through that right-hander. In for the next, right, nicely onto the power. This is better, Hillman. Even though he's 6.8 back, and then the fake fall, because apparently the wheels aren't level. Even though they're pretty damn level there. And again, the Japanese rider is down. So at least Hillman is being caught in the crash race by the Japanese rider. As once again, he's lost around 10 seconds this lap. He could get lapped at the end of this, Hillman, with how stupid he's riding at the moment. Over 10 seconds, so 2:01. What was he doing that lap? That's already around 30 seconds lost on 2 laps alone. And we're already 5-6 laps in, so he's probably lost almost a minute already to the leaders. So he really has to get on his bike now, does Hillman, if he wants to get a top 10 and stay upright as well. I've heard that's pretty important. So they go through the left. Go on, now work on gaining on the riders in front instead of trying to stay upright. Let's go through to the left. That's better. God, you have to slate so many bites at a cherry to get onto the power. Again, we've got to do that throttle leaning thing. Flip the throttle all the time. Forgot about that. It's not a surprise since we started blipping. Look at this, we're so much better. We go out the corner. Over the jump, 7.4 back. The riders in front. I can't imagine this race too, though. With these conditions, with the track being used already as well for a race. It's going to be difficult for riders. Oh, the Japanese rider gains another crash on Hillman. Let's go out the final corner, 52, so he lost 5 seconds out of that. Got to start getting into the 40s, Hillman. Starting 47s, 48s. As Jonas is out of third, or up to third, shall I say. And let's see what. I imagine this track would actually be fun in the dry, but I don't know where it is. It's just the bog. It's not nice at all. Anyone finding some flow somehow around here as we approach the halfway mark of this race. And he's actually gaining on the riders in front, you can clearly see that. Nice use of the bank as well, actually providing some momentum. And now going wide in that corner didn't really help. This is just 4 seconds behind the Frenchman. Considering where he was a lap ago, is pretty good. And then in through the right. Nailed it now. Who cares about the fishtail? And again, blip the throttle through that corner. You can see you can just straighten up the bike so much earlier. Only 4.4 back. It looks much closer than that. Looks like 3 seconds to me. That's all. This might actually be in the 40s. No, just a 1 minute 50, but that is much quicker than he has been going normally. As you can see, he's closed his second 7 gap right the way up. Well, almost. He's around a second back. So they're going mid 150s. Leaders going high 40s. And imagine midfield is more like Hillman's pace then. So let's see if we can make a manoeuvre then on the Frenchman. Round the outside maybe. At the halfway mark as Coven's ahead of Jonas now. Order that, Finn's dropping back. Down to 5th now. Behind the American. There goes Hillman in to the left. Yes, nicely up to 19th. You can see a bunch of riders in front as well. So he just gets better as these races go on. He gets used to these conditions as well. For the first time I remember riding these wet conditions around a track he's unfamiliar with. So you probably shouldn't excuse him too much for all those hiccups early on in the race, but now he's in the flow, he's in C, much better. As it go through the right. And we're officially into the second half of this race. And he's been very aggressive into these corners. Whoa, where's the Belgium going? Taking his own line. He saw Hillman coming, thought, screw this, I'm going to block you now, mate. Did work. It was pretty close between the pair. There's no Hillman down. Trying to take the end. What the hell? And then down again for no reason. It just automatically had him going backwards. I did not understand that second fault at all. As we were leaning forward. So he's almost in double figures then for crashes. Which should be no surprise in these conditions. And considering previous races as well. In Qatar, both races he crashed in double figures. So the new circuit with these conditions could be approaching 20 by the end of this race as we're just over the halfway mark. But all that progress after a couple good, almost 2 good laps in a row, you can see what happens. And that just adds to the frustration of this race or this circuit as well. Being in the wet. It's not a fun circuit to ride around. These bikes aren't fun to ride in the wet either. Nor should they be, really. You're trying to tame a beast now in these conditions. And tame the track as well. Should be a good challenge, which this is. That's a good jump. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's actually fun trying to do it as well. It can be frustrating, as you've seen with Hillman, with all his incidents. And see, going down to those lower gears as well now. Help with traction out of corners. And it seems like you can't take the inside line for this final corner. So take the wide line and try to be cut back. Helps a bit as all the Japanese rider gains a crash on Hillman. You can see he gained up that 5-second gap already to the Frenchman in half of that. No, and then he goes down again. Seriously? And we were pumping the throttle then as well. They're getting close to full though, the back end just goes. And that is double figures now, so if you're playing that drinking game, once again, I apologise to your liver. Let's go over the jumps. And once again, it's going to be a terrible race 1, but then race 2 was much better in Qatar. So let's see if the pattern holds true here as well in Indonesia. You can see so much quicker just through the corners. Maybe not on the straights. And again, maybe we've got to change the gearing as well, not have it so short, which creates that wheel spin as well. Because we're always going to be in those high revs. Really with this short gearing. So I don't know how you hold on to that, Hillman. Fully sideways and oh, Belgian down in front. that another position? Not quite. We could maybe dive it down the inside into the left. Nicely done, Hillman. That's it. Into 19th. Or maybe around the outside of the Frenchman as well as you go to the line. Look at that, elbow to elbow. As the Frenchman tries to push him off, Hillman says none of it, gets his elbow sharpened. Takes the position in the left, and the Frenchman tries to swipe him out. What an arsehole. Now that's Hillman up to 18th. They didn't see 17th, 16th, 15th, not far in front at all. So top 15 definitely on the card, so you can just keep upright. And we're still hoping for the top 10 in these last 10 minutes of the race, the final third. Hillman should be on top of the conditions now. I mean, he's only fallen like 3 times in the second half of the race so far, compared to 7 in total in the first half. As we go through the left, it's behind the Iberian rider. Oh, and here comes the Belgium, just diving it down the inside. Just when Hillman thinks he's free, he's got some space to ride by himself. Here comes the Belgium back. Let's go over the jumps. Hillman carrying the speed on the outside. Doesn't make the move. Converts it into the inside. The next corner, nice. Oh, and the Belgium is down again in that corner. Well, it's got to be his bogey corner, passed and fallen in the same corner. Never want to see that for a rider. Even if it's one you're battling with. As I go through the final corner, 52 from Hillman. That is still poor that time-wise. Faster than that 47.9. He's got to get in the 40 if he wants that top 10. Which we're still dreaming of. That's what the hell, he just went backwards there. Even though we're pushing forward. I do not understand that. Going to see much more aggressive over this section compared to the riders in front. Tries to make the move for 17th. Doesn't quite work out. Finally gets up to 5th, use that banking as well. Get on the power hard. Someone a bit off their bike in front. Someone fancies a double overtake. Doesn't quite work though. Oh, and he gets pushed wide by the Iberian rider. Again, the track's so narrow. You've got basically one line, which is rideable. All the other lines are just... you're trying your luck, basically. Which again is slightly disappointing. Which is a bit more understandable in these conditions. But in Qatar, it was ridiculous how narrow the track was. Even though it looks much wider than it is. There's no real alternate lines you can try. There's all Frenchmen down behind. Going to the final couple of corners. Trying to carry the speed in that final corner. That was a pretty good drive off the corner though. As we approach the final 5 minutes of a very down race for Hillman. Good thing is the pace is there once again. He just needs to keep the damn thing upright and not make mistakes like that. Going a bit too deep into that corner, but this is a section where he's very aggressive compared to the riders around him. And surely set himself up for an overtake here. No, getting blocked. He gets 17th at least. Now he's battling with the Russian. Got the outside line, can actually outbrake him on the outside as well. Tries to get a drive off the corner, have the inside for the right. And good block in there. of the German, actually. It's the Russian in front. In 15th. So he's passed Sue. Tries to get the drive off the right hander. Again, balancing that throttle, balancing that rear end. For an eternity, it feels like. He's really gaining on the Russian this lap. Much better that from Hillman. This is what we want to see. More like it. Just speed. Aggression. And it's paying off this lap. So top 15. Definitely possible with 5 minutes remaining. We're almost at the end of this slugfest. But we've still got one more to go here in Indonesia. And he's into the 40s for the first time. That's a 49.8. So less than 2 seconds off the pace. That's better. That's what we want to see. That time wise. As he tries to go down the inside into the left. Doesn't quite work. Inside into the right as the Russian just stops in front. It's like he forgotten he was racing. Seems like there's a big gap in front of him though. Don't see anyone for miles in front. As Hillman goes round the outside. What a manoeuvre. Does he get the drive off the left? He does. Blocks the inside as well into the next left-hander. And using that banking. Again, to get good momentum off the corner. And 23 seconds in front of the Frenchman. That is a big gap. 15th might be all that Hillman is playing for then in this race. As he try and get off the right, you can see the rear end just trying to sabotage him at every turn. It's off the next right line, that's not too bad. Made that 24 seconds behind the Frenchman. So for Hillman, he might actually have some space though. Just to ride by himself, especially with the Russian down behind. So basically it's hot lap mode now for Hillman. Let's see what he can do with just clean air, no battling, no one around him. And just practice for this second race. So that's a 150, mid 150. Not the best that time. Again, he's looking to be in those almost mid 40s. He's got a good bout behind though, full 17th. Looks like the German really trying to go for it, but it's just not working. It's now Hillman's just apparently 11 seconds behind the Frenchman. He's basically cut it in half in one sector. What the hell's going on then? In front. As we've gone no quicker than we have before in that first section. And Hillman hasn't been amazingly impressive as shown by that exit from the corner. That just might be his sector though. As now he's back to 23 seconds back. That's what you're doing into the left. That's one corner you don't want to carry speed into, and this left. Because there's no banking. There's all the Brits down from 13th. Oh, and so is the Frenchman from 14th. Oh, if they keep running into issues then, that might help Hillman make out a couple more positions. As I'm guessing they're battling hard in front. Well, so he says he's 24 seconds back. But he has gained a couple seconds this lap. No, he's down. Get going. Oh, and so is the German from 17th at the same corner. There's obviously that issue of the corner where it's been very tight and then you've got that thing on the inside, which just that bank which can just take you down. And there you go, 156. So he's lost at least 5 seconds out of that to the riders in front. There's Olsen down from the lead. Let's see Jonas and Covington battling hard for the podium. As he got 3 laps to go, I think, including this one. That's where you're going, Hillman. Where are you going? What are you doing? Get going again. Come on. Now he's turning into an idiot again. Finally gets 50, finally gets clean air. Now he's just crashing for fun again. What an absolute idiot. Just falling asleep. And he's clean air. That's probably why Hillman shouldn't be in clean air. And I think he's actually matched his falls from the first half of this race. So we are actually approaching 20 as there goes Hillman down the inside. He's got the German in front. He's got to finish at least 15th. Come on, you can catch up to the German. He's right in front. Just keep your concentration, Hillman. That's the thing with these being very long races as well. Keeping your concentration so difficult. And he's around 10 seconds third than he would be at this sector. Playing silly buggers. And oh, there goes down the German. Hillman did well to avoid that. As it is free to go, including this lap. So 15th, right in front. Just 5 seconds in front. Can easily catch Dab in just one lap, let alone two. Going to see a 1:58, so he lost, 10 seconds out of that. As he go for the left, go on, just keep the concentration for this final lap. As he goes over the jumps, Olsen, 2 to go. Across the line, or should we say 1 to go? As there, he's just 2 seconds behind the Russian. Come on, you can actually see him. That's why he's down. What? Why is he down? Did he just get stuck in the mud? I don't understand why he went down there. Now he's got more crashes in the second half of the race. Just as I said, he should be better in the second half of the race. He's been just as poor. Probably even worse considering that we know he's got pace. And you should know better by now in these conditions. As he is just pushing riders wide for the sake of it. And how Hillman has really lost his head this race. Oh, and they're taking it back to him. Well, Hillman holds on just about through the right. He really is trying now with a lap and a half to go to get that 15. They said top 15 minimum at the halfway mark. We're still hoping for the top 10, but then we saw the gap to everyone else, and that's impossible. But the Russian's down in front. And then Hillman goes very wide in that corner. Well, come on, the Russian's just up the road. So go out of the left hand, and again, this is going to be a high 150. Or mid 150, is it? 154. As it go. Oh, we've still got 2 laps to go. Okay. So you should easily get 15th then, should Hillman. As Olsen goes on to his final lap, I really am surprised he's not been that. He deserves to be that with his performance this race. Absolutely shocking. I thought with all the training he would be much better, but new venue with these conditions as well, first time as well since being back. You know, its class just seems to have been too much for him. But the only way is up for the second race at least. He can't be this bad surely in the second race. We've still got a good battle here with a lap and a half to go. Someone very wide, once again demonstrating how they get stuck in the mud around it. Oh, and he's down! It's ridiculous, you have to get it up to 4th though to get really going again. And even then you're kind of stuttering. As he gets up to 17th, he's got the German in front, come on! And the Russian is still just like 5 seconds down the road, which should be easy to gain pace-wise. So you go right in the tail of the German now. And the Russian's down again. So it's just a couple of seconds. What? Everyone's down. Actually, everyone's passed the Russian, is he? No, he's been passed again. Oh, you idiot. You had the position. Now just hold it for one final lap. As much as I've been saying Hillman's performance has been shocking, it has led to some good battles. And we've got it heading on to the final lap. 4:15th. With the Russian, with the German, with the Iberian rider, I believe. As Olsen wins. So Hillman, you're lucky not to get that, as you're over a minute 30 behind the leaders, which is just a poor performance. As Jonas and Coverdon are battling for that final podium spot. Who's going to grab it? Out of the line. The Frenchman is still just 22 seconds in front though, so if he didn't make all these mistakes, he could have been right on the tail of the Frenchman and onto the final lap. Instead, he's got the Russian on his tail. He's got the German as well. And now he's down in the left-hander. Come on, get going. That's apparently the German's down his inside, is he? What's going on here? Why? I hate this. I absolutely hate this. Why is the positions all messed up again? He's battling for 15th. We know that. We can see the riders in front. We can feel the riders in front. They're saying we're battling for 19th. Absolutely ridiculous. He's got the Russian in front, but we're coming to his favourite corner. Surely Hillman will make it by here. Do not carry too much speed over this jump. Oh, and he's messed up again. Come on, make the move. Just got 2 corners to go. No, he sits wide. Come on, final corner. Just dive. Hillman, dive. No, it's not working. It's like you're dancing on ice trying to go down the inside. So after 19 laps, the Danish Olsen wins ahead of Garcia. Coverdon won that battle for the final podium spot, but just 0.3 of a second in. Seaworth, Boges, Patrell, Leiber, Lawrence, and Osland, should I say. Osland rounds out the top 10 of Bernardini, Amuse, and Steri, then Servilin. Then we've got the Russian on our fellow Kawasaki runner just ahead of Hillman by a second. And look at that, a minute 44 back in the end. Absolutely abysmal. With Sue in 17th, then the Spaniard. Then we've got the Dutchman actually, not the Belgian. Then Rubini in 20th, ahead of the Frenchman, and the Japanese rider in last on his Honda. So after that race, Olsen has a maximum 25 points, while Hillman only has 5. Got some improving to do in the second race, as at least it's improvement of the first race in Qatar position wise, even though riding wise it was even worse than Qatar first race, as he gets quite a few credits. Not a lot of fame though. We still got 200 fame to make up for missing the qualifying race. So we'll see how he can do in race 2 next time out. So for watching, and I'll see you then.